When you feel confused about where you stand with a man, the worst thing you can do is chase him for answers. Chasing creates pressure, and pressure often makes people hide their true feelings. But when you step back, when you pull away just a little, something powerful happens. You create space, and in that space, the truth begins to show itself. See, real emotions don't need to be forced. A man who truly cares about you will feel your absence. He will notice the silence where your attention used to be. He will start asking questions. He will reach out, not because you demanded it, but because his heart told him to. Pulling away is not about playing games. It's about protecting your peace and allowing someone to show you who they really are. When you stop overgiving, when you stop always being available, the balance changes. Suddenly, he has to decide, does he value you enough to step forward, or will he stay comfortable in distance? And that moment right there is where truth lives. A man who has genuine feelings will not let the connection fade easily. He will try to understand what changed. He will put in effort. He will become more attentive, more present, and more intentional. Because when a man realizes he might lose something meaningful, his real emotions rise to the surface. But if he doesn't move, if he stays silent, if nothing changes, then that silence is also an answer. And as painful as it might feel, it's also clarity. Pulling away reveals whether someone was truly invested or simply enjoying the convenience of your presence. Too many people exhaust themselves trying to prove their worth to someone who hasn't decided their value yet. But the truth is, your worth does not need to be proven. The right person will recognize it without you having to chase, beg, or explain. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is stepping back and allowing life to reveal the truth. Because love that is real will move towards you. Because love that is real will move towards you. Effort that is genuine will find its way back. And emotions that are honest will never stay hidden for long. So if you ever find yourself questioning how someone feels about you, remember this: pull away, breathe, focus on yourself, and watch carefully. His actions in that space will tell you everything words never could. Distance reveals truth. This is one of the most powerful principles when it comes to understanding a man's real emotions. Many times in relationships, people try too hard to hold on to someone. They text first every day. They check in constantly. They make themselves available at all times, and they give more attention than they receive. When that happens, the balance of the relationship becomes uneven. One person is doing all the emotional work, while the other simply enjoys the comfort of being cared for. But the moment you step back, the moment you pull away a little, the truth begins to appear. A man's real feelings are often revealed not when everything is easy, but when something changes. But when something changes. When you stop giving constant attention, he suddenly notices the difference. The good morning texts aren't there anymore. The long conversations slow down. The energy you used to pour into him becomes quieter. This change creates a space where his true emotions have a chance to surface. If his feelings are real, he will feel the absence of your presence. He will notice that something important is missing from his daily life. That feeling of absence can be powerful. It forces him to think about you in a different way. When you are always there, he might have taken your attention for granted. Your kindness and your time became something he expected rather than something he appreciated. But once you pull away, the routine changes. Suddenly, he has to face the possibility that you might not always be there. That realization can wake up emotions that were hidden under comfort and familiarity. This is why distance often reveals the truth. When a man truly cares, he doesn't simply sit back and let the connection fade. He becomes curious. He wonders what happened. He starts reaching out. He tries to reconnect and understand the change. His effort becomes visible because he doesn't want to lose the bond that meant something to him. Real emotions always create movement. They inspire action. On the other hand, if a man's feelings were never deep, your distance will not create much reaction. The silence will remain. The effort will not appear. And while that might hurt at first, it is also valuable information. It shows you the reality of the situation. It saves you from spending months or even years trying to convince someone to care about you the way you deserve. Pulling away is not about punishment or manipulation. It is not about playing emotional games. It is about restoring balance and protecting your own emotional energy. When you stop overextending yourself, you allow the other person the opportunity to step forward and show what they truly feel. In that space, their actions speak louder than any words they could say. Sometimes people ask for constant reassurance because they are afraid of losing someone. But chasing reassurance often hides the truth instead of revealing it. Distance, however, creates clarity. It removes pressure and allows emotions to surface naturally. A man who truly values you will not ignore that space. He will fill it with effort, attention, and genuine care. So when you feel uncertain about someone's feelings sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is step back. Focus on your own life, your growth, and your peace of mind. Let time and distance do what questions and pressure cannot do. Because when you give someone the room to show you who they really are, the truth always finds a way to reveal itself. Stop chasing clarity. One of the biggest mistakes people make in relationships is constantly chasing answers about how someone feels. When you feel uncertain, your first instinct might be to ask more questions, send more messages, or try harder to get reassurance. You might think that if you just talk about it enough, if you just explain your feelings clearly, the other person will finally understand and give you the response you want. But the truth is, clarity rarely comes from chasing someone. Real clarity comes from observing their actions. When you constantly chase clarity, you often create a situation where the other person does not need to show effort. They know you will reach out first. They know you will start the conversation. They know you will try to fix every moment of silence. Because of that, they never have to reveal how much they actually care. Your effort fills all the empty space where their effort should have been. Imagine a relationship where one person is always the one texting first, always asking how the other person feels, always trying to keep the connection alive. Over time, that pattern becomes normal. The other person may start to rely on it. They may enjoy the attention and the comfort, but they never truly show their own level of investment. The relationship begins to feel one-sided, and the person doing all the chasing starts to feel confused and emotionally exhausted. This is why stopping the chase can be so powerful. When you stop asking for constant reassurance and stop pushing for answers, something important happens. Something important happens. The responsibility shifts. Instead of you trying to force clarity through questions and conversations, the other person now has the opportunity to reveal their intentions through their behavior. Their actions begin to speak louder than any explanation they could give. Words are easy to say, especially when someone feels pressured to respond. A person can tell you they care simply to avoid conflict or to keep the peace. But actions are much harder to fake over time. If someone truly values you, they will naturally reach out. They will make time to talk to you. They will show interest in your life. They will put in effort without being constantly reminded or pushed. When you stop chasing clarity, you also protect your own emotional well-being. Chasing answers can lead to overthinking, anxiety, and self-doubt. You may start wondering if you said something wrong, if you are not good enough, or if you should try even harder to keep the person interested. This cycle can drain your confidence and make you feel like you are constantly trying to earn someone's attention. But when you step back and allow things to unfold naturally, you gain a different kind of power. You begin to observe instead of chase. You watch how the other person behaves when the pressure is gone. Do they reach out because they want to talk to you? Do they make the effort to stay connected? Or do they slowly disappear when you stop doing all the work? The answers to these questions provide the clarity you were searching for all along. And the best part is that you did not have to beg for it or chase it. Their actions reveal the truth on their own. Healthy relationships are built on mutual effort. Both people should feel valued, respected, and cared for. When you stop chasing clarity, you create space for that balance to exist. The right person will step forward and meet you halfway. And when they do, you will no longer feel confused about where you stand because their actions will make it clear. Create space for effort. One of the most important dynamics in any relationship is balance. When two people care about each other, effort should flow from both sides. But many times, without realizing it, one person starts doing almost all the work. They are always the one initiating conversations, planning meetings, checking in, and making sure the connection stays alive. At first, it might feel natural to give that much energy, especially if you truly like someone. But over time, if the other person becomes used to receiving all that effort without giving the same energy back, the relationship can become one-sided. Creating space for effort means stepping back enough to allow the other person the opportunity to show what they are willing to do for you. When you are constantly filling every gap with your attention, there is no room for them to step in. Imagine a situation where someone texts first every day, always asks how the other person is feeling, always tries to keep the conversation going, and always makes themselves available. The other person may enjoy the attention, but they never feel the need to step forward because everything is already being done for them. This is why creating space can be such a powerful shift. When you stop doing everything, the balance changes. Suddenly, there is silence where there used to be constant communication. There is time where the other person must decide whether they want to reach out. That space becomes an opportunity for them to show effort if they truly care. Effort is one of the clearest signs of genuine interest. People naturally invest time and energy into things that matter to them. When someone values a connection, they will look for ways to maintain it. They will send a message first, sometimes. They will check on you. They will make plans to see you. They will try to keep the relationship moving forward. These actions do not happen because someone forced them. They happen because a person genuinely wants to stay connected. But when space is never created, it becomes difficult to see whether that effort would appear naturally. If one person is always taking the lead, the other person may simply follow the path that is already laid out for them. This can create confusion because the relationship seems active, but most of the energy is coming from only one side. Creating space does not mean disappearing completely or ignoring someone in a cold way. It simply means allowing the relationship to breathe. Instead of rushing to fill every quiet moment, you allow things to unfold naturally. You give the other person the opportunity to show that they want to be part of your life, just as much as you want them to be part of yours. In that space, you begin to see things more clearly. If the other person values the relationship, they will step forward. They will meet you halfway. Their actions will show that they are willing to invest their time and energy into building something meaningful with you. The effort will become visible without you having to ask for it. However, if that effort never appears, the space also reveals an important truth. It shows that the connection may not have been as strong or as balanced as it seemed. While that realization can be difficult, it is far better to know the reality than to continue giving endless energy to someone who is not willing to give the same in return. Healthy relationships are built on shared effort. Both people should feel like they are contributing to the connection. By creating space, you allow that balance to form naturally. You stop carrying the entire relationship on your shoulders and give the other person the chance to show how much they truly care. Real interest shows through action. One of the clearest ways to understand someone's true feelings is not by listening to what they say, but by watching what they do. Words can be comforting, persuasive, and sometimes even misleading. Anyone can promise attention, commitment, or affection in a conversation, but actions require effort, time, and intention. That is why real interest is always revealed through consistent behavior rather than temporary words. In relationships, many people find themselves confused because they focus too much on what someone says instead of what that person actually does. A man might say he cares about you, that he values the connection, or that he wants to see where things go. Those words may sound encouraging in the moment, but if his actions do not match them, the truth is hidden in that gap. When someone truly values you, their behavior will naturally reflect it. Real interest shows up in the little things first. It shows in how often someone reaches out to you without being reminded. It appears in the way they make time to talk to you even when life is busy. It shows when they remember small details about your life, your goals, and your feelings. These small actions might seem simple, but they reveal genuine attention and care. When someone is truly interested, staying connected with you becomes something they want to do, not something they feel forced to do. Effort is also a major sign of real emotions. A person who values you will not wait for you to do all the work in the relationship. They will meet you halfway. They will plan time together, start conversations, and make sure you feel included in their life. Their effort becomes consistent rather than occasional. Instead of appearing only when it is convenient, they show up regularly because they see the connection as important. Another powerful sign of real interest is reliability. When someone truly cares about you, they do not leave you constantly guessing where you stand. Their actions create a sense of stability. If they say they will call, they call. If they make plans with you, they follow through. This consistency builds trust because you can see that their words and actions are aligned. Sometimes people give attention only when they feel like it and then disappear when it requires effort. This kind of behavior creates confusion because it mixes signals. One day they might seem very interested, and the next day they might be distant or unavailable. But real interest does not behave this way. Genuine emotions create steady behavior, not unpredictable patterns that leave you questioning everything. Understanding this truth can save a lot of emotional energy. Instead of analyzing every message or every conversation, you can simply observe patterns of behavior. Actions reveal priorities. If someone consistently makes time for you, invests energy into the relationship, and shows genuine care through their behavior, that is a strong sign that their interest is real. On the other hand, when someone repeatedly says the right things but their actions remain weak or inconsistent, that also reveals the truth. It shows that their words may be driven by convenience rather than genuine emotion. While this realization can be disappointing, it provides clarity about the reality of the situation. Healthy relationships are built on more than promises. They grow through consistent effort, reliability, and mutual care. When someone truly values you, they will not only say it, they will show it through the way they treat you, the time they give you, and the effort they make to keep you in their life. Over time, these actions speak louder and more honestly than any words ever could.